Why is induction of labour viewed negatively? I know I viewed it very negatively because I felt this is not natural. This is not, or my body's just not ready to do this yet. Therefore, I don't think you should force it to do it. Are there other reasons that it's viewed negatively, do you think?
Well, yes, definitely, because you see, where I suppose what we're doing is forcing something to happen that isn't yet ready.
Yeah.
And when we do that, or we go against nature, sometimes it fails because we've interfered.
Yeah.
So induction of labour is one of the biggest or biggest reasons for caesarean section, because the induction fails. And what I mean by fail is that, you know, eventually you might get into labour. We don't know how long that will take, but if it takes time, ultimately what happens is baby gets tired.
And mum gets tired.
Ah, well, mum gets tired for sure.
I mean, 40 hours of, I couldn't sit down or lie down because my contractions started going backwards. I spent 5 hours bouncing up and down on a birthing board trying to get my waters to break.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my body was just not interested.
Did it work?
No, it didn't actually. I've got a good workout though.
Take that one off your list.
Burn some calories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was exhausting. But yeah, mum gets tired.
Yes,
And that, you know,
yes.
if I hadn't been really, really fit, then I'm sure I would have just said, okay, I'm done. I need to lie down. Do whatever you need to do.
Of course.
Take this baby out because it's not coming naturally.
Well, that's the other reason why it's viewed negatively, because you are much more likely to opt for an epidural.
Yeah.
And of course, when you opt for an epidural, you're introducing, you know, many more drugs, synthetic drugs, that can have, well, temporary effects on mum and baby. Then they're not dangerous effects. It all evens out in the end.
Yeah.
But they, you know, they are drugs at the end of the day. And sometimes, you know, it takes away. Well, certainly it makes you less mobile in labour, even though you can have a walking epidural.
Can you?
Well, you
How
can.
does that work?
Well, because...
Does it take all sensation out of...
Well, no. I mean, good anaesthetists and units where they've got plenty of midwives, they will not just numb you where your pain centres are, your receptors are, that supply the uterus. So your motor function, your leg, in theory, shouldn't be numb. But it requires, you know, somebody quite skilled to do that. And it's true to say that most women don't have a walking epidurals. At most, they might manage to sit up in the chair.
Yeah.
But because it reduces your mobility, it reduces how active you can be in the second stage, the pushing stage. And so you perhaps may not be able to get yourself into a great position for pushing. Of course, the midwives will help. But you know, some of it's got to come from you too, and you may not feel that urge to push in the same way. When it's your first baby and you've never pushed before, sometimes it takes a while to get the hang of it. So therefore, you're more likely to end up with a vacuum birth or forceps, and then you're more likely. You have an increased likelihood of having an episiotomy. So you see it's a cascade of intervention. So you start with what you think is one harmless thing, like inducing labour, but it just cascades down. And then, of course,
that doesn't always happen. Some people have an induction labour and it's fantastic and it's perfect and they wouldn't have it any other way.
No.
It's just, you're just highlighting what could happen and why it's viewed negatively.
Why some people view it negatively, of course.